Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here, and welcome to a Super Smash Bros. 3DS impressions video. I've been a huge fan of the franchise since the N64 days, so you have no idea just how much I was looking forward to Smash Bros. 3DS, and fortunately it, for the most part, does not disappoint. There are a few aspects in which it falls short, but I'll get more into that later. The biggest compliment I can give to Smash Bros. 3DS is that it just works. I mean, the controls are extremely responsive, the frame rate is smooth, the graphics are awesome, everything just works as a normal Smash Bros. Game would. You know, there are barely any compromises. The controls are a bit cramped, but you get used to them eventually. You will never quite get to the level of the GameCube controller, you know, because it's just more cramped and it's just a little more difficult to react, but for the most part, you'll be fine. I consider myself to be a relatively skilled Smash Bros. Player, and I found myself pulling off combos that I normally would with no problem after just fiddling with the controls a bit. And you can customize the controls too, so if you're not comfortable with the default, then you can customize it any way you want, and yeah, it works great. It's awesome. Where Smash Bros. 3DS falls short is the multiplayer, not the local multiplayer. The local multiplayer runs perfectly. A few bits of lag here and there, but they are so infrequent that, you know, they're not really all that big of a deal. But when it comes to online multiplayer, that's probably my biggest disappointment. For me, it was somewhat unplayable. I did not have a single match in which there was no input lag. Even the best of matches, you know, which run smoothly with no stuttering, there is some input lag. And when you play a character like Sheik is my main character, and when you play a character like her, precision is the most important thing. You know, if you want to pull off these combos, the controls and the game needs to react to the player as the player is inputting a command. That's just not the case for online. So if you're a veteran player who's really into this, into the Smash Bros. Franchise, and you're expecting to pull off combos the same level as you would in just a regular match, you'll be disappointed. For casual players though, online works good enough. You know, it's definitely a lot better than Brawl, but then again, Brawl didn't really set the bar high at all, so it's not saying much. So my biggest disappointment was definitely the online multiplayer. I was, you know, extremely frustrated throughout the matches when I was supposed to pull off this combo, but the, you know, 0.5 second delay would completely throw me off, and the hits that I would normally land wouldn't land, and it's just been frustrating. Locally though, it works fine. I've played a few local matches, and it's been great. No input lag whatsoever. Yeah, so that's a big shame, because I was really looking forward to online, but hopefully the Wii U version will fix that. I mean, if Mario Kart 8 is any indication, then I have a good feeling that the Wii U version of Smash Bros. Will run really smoothly. Another disappointment for me was Classic Mode. It adds a little twist to the old formula. You get to choose between 3 branching pathways, usually 3, sometimes 2. And depending on which pathway you choose, you fight different opponents with different conditions. Now, my problem with that mode is that it decreases your difficulty if you lose. So if, say you want to tackle Classic Mode at the highest difficulty, and you just want to kind of get used to this difficulty, you can't, because the game will force your difficulty down if you know, you die, if you get a game over. And that to me was extremely frustrating, because I wanted to beat the final boss. I don't know what it's called. You know, Master Hand, Crazy Hand, and it transforms into this other stuff. The giant monster, the sword, the weird dog thing. You know, the weird shadow particles. I don't know what they're called. But I wanted to fight the final boss at level 9 and get used to its pattern and just kind of, you know, nail it down. But I couldn't, because the game, you know, if I lost, the game would basically say, well, you're not good enough, so we'll boost you down. And I'm just like, really? I won't just, if I want to play level 9, then let me play level 9. The game wouldn't allow me to do that, so that was unfortunate. And the Classic Mode only has 6 stages, And I get that it's the 3DS version and that, you have to cut back on some things, but you're still cutting back. It might have been that there was no way around it, but still, it is a flaw. So yeah, but overall, just the single-player modes were kind of disappointing. I don't see myself getting hooked on them for all that long. Smash Run was interesting. It essentially puts you in this giant map with 3 other players. It could be CPU or an actual player. And you go around beating monsters and collecting these sticker thingies that essentially increase stats like attack, defense, jump, speed, and all that good stuff. And once 5 minutes are up, you get to battle them out with some kind of condition, whether it be a running kind of match, which essentially forces players to run to the finish line. And there are, other times you may get a more classic style of gameplay, like, just free-for-all battle. And it's randomized, and it's weird because I wish people could vote on it or something, because some players may have collected a lot of attack, and then a race to the finish minigame pops up, and that character is screwed because they didn't collect any speed stuff, they collected the attack stuff. So it's like kind of a guessing game, and I don't know if I like that all that much, but Smash Run is just, it's a casual thing, it's fun, it's great just to, let loose a bit, not for competitive stuff. It's just too random for it to be competitive. But yeah, anyways, that's Smash Run. Now, one aspect of the game that I really must commend is customization. In this game, each character comes with 3 options per special move. So what I mean by that is that, as you know, Smash Brothers comes with 4 special moves per character. There's the up B, down B, side B, and standard B moves. Each of those comes with 3 options that you can mix and match. And what's great about these moves is that each of them change the character's playstyle dramatically. They all have very different effects that will affect how you use this character. So for example, Samus, her standard B special move is the hand cannon, right? With it, by default, she shoots this energy ball that travels at regular speed, and you can charge it up and shoot a bigger version of the energy ball that will do more damage and has more knockback. An alternate version of that move is one where the energy ball moves very slowly, and that may seem useless at first, but then you realize with this, I can control the stage a lot more. It's almost like a trap that is slowly making its way towards the player. And, you can follow the ball so that the player gets scared of approaching Samus, and you can do all these crazy strategies now with the slower traveling energy balls that Samus can shoot off of her hand cannon. And you can shoot multiple of these at a time, so you can set like traps on the stage, and it just changes the dynamic of the character. And the third alternative to that move is this shotgun arm blast thing. Essentially, instead of shooting a ball of energy, a blast sort of emanates from her arm cannon, and when you charge it up, it's a bigger blast, and one that deals more damage and more knockback. It's a close range move. It's almost like a shotgun, and that already changes the dynamic of Samus's character, makes her more close range. So that's just one example. Each character has these alternative moves per special move. So just the possibilities are endless with the custom special moves alone. As if that wasn't enough, you can actually give characters what are called equipment, which you can get by completing classic mode or by doing Smash Run, and just by doing single player stuff. These equipment essentially boost certain stats and decrease another. So each character has 3 stats: attack, defense, and speed, and you can give them up to 3 equipment per character. And so it's about what stats you want to sacrifice to increase another, and it's about making a character that suits your playstyle. So for example, say you want to make a heavy-hitting Sheik, just for whatever reason. You know, Sheik is normally a very fast character, but if you want to make her a Ganondorf, a Bowser, you know, a heavy hitter, just, you know, doesn't budge, that kind of character, you can go ahead and do that with equipment and with custom moves, and you can really create a character that is not standard by any means, but if it works for you, then it works for you, and you can use this character and battle with your friends. You can't do that online with strangers, unfortunately, but you can do it with friends. And I mean, this feature is just so addictive, and it really does make you want to play the single player modes just to earn more equipment, more special custom moves. And yeah, that one feature for me is what separates Smash Bros. 3DS from every other game in the past. I think, for me, I feel that it's the feature that defines this Smash Brothers. It's the one that has me most impressed, you know, apart from the fact that the game runs incredibly smoothly despite the hardware limitations. Yeah, this customization feature, like, just blew my mind, and I'm addicted to it, and trust me when I say that, you can almost get lost in just how many options there are. The character roster is amazing. More than Brawl, the balance, I feel like it's better. Well, except for the whole Bowser thing, my god. I've seen Bowser players just tear through matches in tournaments and whatnot. But if you know, once you get used to how to deal with Bowser, you'll be fine. But man, that guy is really overpowered. But yeah, I've been playing Sheik a lot. I played some Ganondorf. I played some Link. I like Zelda characters in general in Smash Brothers game, and I've faced off against all kinds of characters, and the balance seems to be there from the 10 hours that I've played, and from the like hundreds of matches. So yeah, so if you're expecting a fantastic online experience, you will be disappointed because it's not fantastic. It's far from it. For me, it's unplayable. Like, I keep losing because, you know, all these hits that are supposed to happen don't happen because of that 0.5 second delay. And you know, a character like Sheik, who's supposed to feel light and nimble, just feels so heavy when you've got that delay, when you've got that input delay. Certain characters are better with lag, like, you know, like Ganondorf. You know, he's slow by nature, so it doesn't make a huge difference, the lag. I mean, it does make a huge difference, but not as much as it would with a character like Sheik, whose hitbox isn't all that big, and who is all about precision. So, yeah, that's pretty much my first impressions. There is a lot to do in Smash Bros. 3DS. There are challenges, there is a whole stadium stuff. You can do home run bat swing thing when you hit a sandbag and see how far you can send it. You also got like the Smash Brothers version of Angry Birds. And I played those. Those were fun for the first few times, but I'm not personally invested into those kinds of mini games, especially since they're not all that extensive. Like the Angry Birds Smash Brothers thing, it only has 2 stages basically, and using those 2 stages, you have to get the highest score you can. So yeah, they're not all that mind-blowing, but they're there if you just want to blow off some steam, just do something a little more casual. That's cool. But the core experience is where Smash Brothers shines. You know, you would think that it won't work on a 3DS, you know, from the controls to just the fast-paced action gameplay, all that stuff happening on screen. How will the 3DS handle it? It handles it like a champ. The game just runs well when you're playing on your console or locally. And seriously, it's surprising how smooth it is. It's quite literally 60 frames per second. They do make stuff like the assist trophies and the Pokemons and all that stuff. They do make those 30 frames per second, but the player characters, those are always running at 60 frames per second, and it's impressive. I don't know what kind of black magic Sakurai used to make the game run this smoothly and look this good. But I can say for sure that if you have a lot of friends who like to play locally, if you can get together in one room, I mean, it's gonna be a party, it's gonna be a blast. And yeah, I think the Smash Brothers 3DS version is sort of a warm-up to the Wii U version. The Wii U version, I feel like, will be the definitive version. The 3DS is definitely not. It definitely makes a few compromises, a few sacrifices to sort of compact everything into this portable device. But for the most part, impressive. Definitely worth the purchase. You will have tons of fun. If you are more of a casual player, you might have fun online as well. Just don't expect to be playing at a competitive level, because the input lag makes that impossible. I did not have a single match, not one match, where there was no input lag. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, that about sums up my first impressions of Smash Brothers 3DS. You will see a review on my website, thenasian.com. I'll do an article review. I can't do much of a video review because I don't have a capture card for the 3DS, so I can only sort of use the screenshots that have been released out there, use those in my article to make my point, but I can't make a full video review, so I will be doing just an article version for this. Hopefully, in the near future, I will get some kind of capture card for the 3DS, so I can do more portable console reviews, but for now, that is all I can manage. And let us know in the comments below your thoughts on Smash Brothers 3DS. Are you having a good time with it? How was your online experience? Maybe it varies depending on the region, your location. I live in Delaware, and yeah, it's just not been a good experience for me at all, unfortunately. But fingers crossed for the Wii U version, and you can connect it directly to LAN, to LAN, so yeah, that should run a lot smoother, my hope is. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let us know what you think about Smash Brothers 3DS, what your impressions are, and look forward to the review on thenasian.com. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out.